My name is Kevin. Welcome to the next video of my small time investing video series. This one is on selling call options. Disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor. I only do small part-time investing casually for fun. There are many things I don't understand in depth, so there could even be a few things in this video that are inaccurate. For selling call options, to me it's like a cheat code for money. It's even more complicated than buying call options, and I'm gonna explain this. Selling call options is how I make most of my profits. In my experience, the risk of selling call options can actually be lower than buying call options. If you know the behavior of the underlying stock very well. As I mentioned in the last video, call options, when the stock price goes up, the call option value goes up, stock price goes down, call option value goes down. In the last video, you don't need to own 100 shares of an underlying stock in order to buy a call option to open a trade. Conversely, you do need to own 100 shares of underlying stock in order to sell a call option to open a trade, and this is what this video is about. To close the same trade you open by selling a call option, you would simply buy it back or do nothing and the trade closes itself when the call option expires. If you own 200 shares of a stock, you can sell 2 call options and so on with multiples of 100 shares. When the underlying stock price is higher than your call option strike price, your option is said to be in the money. This is bad for you if you want to keep your 100 shares. This is good for you if you actually want to sell your 100 shares at the strike price. When the underlying stock price is lower than your call option strike price, your option is said to be out of the money. This is good for you if you want to keep your 100 shares and use it to sell call options again. This is bad for you if you want to sell your 100 shares at the strike price and you cannot. So this is how the option being in the money or out of the money can work for or against you. There are 2 reasons to sell call options. You want to sell your shares at the expiration date of the call option you are selling. So yeah, you want to sell your underlying shares at a future date, then you can sell a call option before you sell the shares, and you get a little bit of pocket change on top of selling your shares at an expiration date. You just got to pick the right strike price to sell it for. Like I said, you collect a little extra for what's essentially dangling your shares before you sell it. If you want to keep your 100 shares and you want to dangle it to collect profit from selling call options, so as long as the stock price doesn't go higher than strike price at expiration date, then your call option expires out of the money. when a call option you sold expires out of the money, then you keep your shares in addition to the profit from selling your call options. So, and you can keep doing this repeatedly as long as you have 100 or more shares of a stock. So you can keep going, dangling 100 shares by selling call options, collecting money, and if the stock price doesn't go higher than the strike price of the call option you're selling, then you keep your underlying shares. And so that's the two reasons to sell call options. So after you sold the call option, you can do one of two things. You can let it expire, so you only pay commission once to sell the call option, and then you just do nothing. This is the riskier move of the two if you want to hold on to your underlying shares. The second thing you could do is you can buy the call option back before it expires and pay a commission to buy it back on top of the value of the call option at the time you buy it back. This is the safer move if you want to hold on to your underlying shares. If you buy back the call option you sold before it expires, while it is profitable, you eliminate the risk of the call option value going up over the strike price. Sorry, you eliminate the risk of the stock price going up over the strike price and forcing you to sell 100 of your underlying shares at expiration at the strike price. So if you want to keep your shares, then the less risky thing to do is to buy back the same call option you're selling before it expires while it is profitable. And it has happened to me before where I got forced to sell 100 shares, although not often. So for volatile stocks that move up and down a great deal, you can conjure up a lot of profits selling call options over and over again with good timing. Knowing when it is good timing is tricky, and that's where people get paid big bucks to do this. You need to know the movement pattern of the stock very well, so you need to do a lot of research, and also you need to be experienced enough to do that, to experience enough with the stock. So again, I'll use GameStop as an example here. Again, all in US dollars. Stock price right now, $31.57. The safest option you can sell is a call option at $65 strike price right here at about $6 mid price. Remember, it's 0.06 times 100. The stock price is very likely to reach it. No, it is very, very unlikely to reach $65 from $31.57 as of the time of the video. So on January 10th, expiration date, this option will expire out of the money, and you will keep your 100 shares. However, it's pointless because the commission you pay your broker will be higher than the $6 you get for selling your call option. It would not be profitable for you. I wouldn't recommend buying it at all. I've made the mistake of selling something for less than what I pay in commission. Very stupid of me to make that mistake. So just keep in mind the commission you're paying. So there is an option with a $5 strike price here, at about 2,660. Sure, you'll get a lot of money, you'll get good money to sell the call option itself, but it's not going to benefit you. It will most likely expire in the money because the stock is very likely to be higher than $5 at expiration on January 10th. You'll be forced to almost give away your shares at $5 per share to Wall Street when it's worth 31.57 right now, and you'll be paying commission too. So don't do that. That's very bad for you. So the trick is to pick the right strike price, the right expiration date. That will get you the most profit, somewhere in the middle, and and it depends on how much risk you want to take. So for me personally, I have 300 shares of GameStop. So this is my example. This is what I did in real life, okay? I sold 3 call options on GameStop at a good timing in the beginning of December 2024 with a strike price of $50. And it expires after 6 weeks on January 17th. So January 17th, $50. And when I did it at the time, I got a total profit of $600 US after commission. And with GameStop about 31.57 right now, if it goes up to $50 to my strike price, I would be happy to be forced to sell it anyway, since I expect the stock price to drop based on my experience when it reaches $50. So that would be good for me if I'm forced to sell it. And if I'm not forced to sell it, and if the stock price doesn't reach $50, then I'll just keep my $600, and I don't have to buy it back. I can just let it expire and just keep my $600. And this is ingenious because for 6 weeks I conjured up an average of $100 per week until January 17th. So even if the stock price never reaches $50, I win. And if the stock price reaches $50, I also win. And even better, I get a nice profit from selling the stock if it does reach $50. So that's why it's probably one of my best trades I've made in my stock trading experience. So I'm quite proud of myself for that. It's rare. It's just I just got lucky with the good timing, and I saw the value that was really high, and I took advantage of it, and so I happen to have 300 shares of GameStop, so I can do three call options for a total of $600, and that was just I guess it's part luck and part experience and knowing what to do, you know. As a small part-time investor, you know, if I should be so lucky to conjure up an average of $100 US per week in my TFSA for a side hustle, you know, on top of working my full-time job as a software engineer, that wouldn't be too bad for me. You know, every time I do this, I get like a dopamine rush. You can't even call it printing money because it's digital money. So there's nothing printed. Feeling like I'm conjuring up money out of thin air on Wall Street, it's like having a cheat code in a video game or something, right? It's very wild to think about it and wrap your head around it. And so that's pretty cool. So that's all I have for selling call options. Thank you for watching.